Tower of God, episode 13. Now, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it will likely not be that long, as essentially this was one big recap episode that teases you and eases you into what will be the second season. It does, however, explain it from Rachel's side of the story, which is an extremely welcomed addition, and a much needed one as well, as it added a lot of depth to her character that she didn't necessarily have before now. And I know the meme is all, Rachel, but on a real note, she's actually a good character. She reminds me somewhat of Danzo from Naruto. Like, no one's gonna have her on her favourite character list. You're not really supposed to like her, but at the end of the day, they are really, really good characters. You're not supposed to like them, you don't like them, and that's a telltale sign, really, of how good they are. Obviously, it's very early days for Rachel yet, I completely understand that, and comparing her to a fully fleshed out character is a little bit preemptive, but I just wanted to say that I definitely get those kind of vibes from her mould of character, and I'm really excited to see where she goes from now, as I really liked seeing her side of everything. It really filled in some of the missing blanks. For example, such as where the silent guy went off to. It turned out that was Rachel. It was her second chance at life, meaning that Ho did actually kill her at first. I am kind of kicking myself that I didn't pick up on that. That was really, really annoying. I wish I saw that coming. That annoyed me, okay? That annoyed me, but I still really liked it. There's just lots of little bits in this episode that I suppose, when they're all put together, made one great big episode. Also, quick side note, someone pointed out in the comment section of last week's video saying that I've called every single episode, pretty much, I think apart from the first one, a perfect episode. That was not intentional. I did not mean to do that if that was the case, but I suppose that speaks more than anything I could say in terms of how of my genuine opinion on the series. No matter what I say, no matter how much detail I try and go into analysing it and discussing it, I think the fact that I've called every episode perfect without even meaning it does everything for you. That says it better than anything I could say intentionally. But back onto what I was saying, there was loads of little bits that made one great big episode, but because of how the episode was structured, I do find it difficult to sort of translate my thoughts on the episode into a proper discussion. It's hard for me to relay my thoughts into words, really, which is unfortunate because it was a good episode. It's just, like I was saying, it was sort of a big recap from the perspective of Rachel. Rachel's basically the main thing to discuss from this episode, which I'm fine with doing that. Like I said, the silent guy reveal was pretty cool, but what was even more fascinating was the fact that the tower wasn't actually choosing her, it was choosing Bam, I believe. That's how I picked up on it, and then Bam became her saviour. If I've understood that scene correctly, and I understand the lore of the series correctly, that means that Bam is not an irregular because he was chosen by the tower. I think that's right, but I'm not too sure. I feel like I've missed something there because Bam being an irregular seems like a really integral part of his character. So if that's the case, I don't know. I'm going to have to... obviously, I'm going to be rereading the series in the webtoon, so maybe I can pick up on little things like that maybe I've misunderstood or missed throughout the series up until this point. But for now, definitely let me know in the comment section down below whether or not I've misunderstood and that Bam still is an irregular. But if I'm not mistaken, he's not an irregular, which surprised me. It's pretty cool. Anyway, overall, I just loved how it fleshed out Rachel's character. This is definitely the least comprehensive review I've ever really done in this series, really. But it's the finale. I just sort of want to sit down and just spew out thoughts from my head without much thinking about how much I've enjoyed it. I'm sorry, what even was that pathetic attempt at a sentence? I'm also very excited to see how they handle her joining up with everyone else. That's going to be a really interesting dynamic that I can't wait to see. Because obviously she's going to be going up the tower in Bam's place with everyone else, but unbeknownst to what Rachel actually did. They're doing this because they think it's what Bam wants, whereas we know now that that's not the case. They will not like Rachel at all if they knew the truth, but instead, their mindset on everything is essentially the mindset that Bam has had over the last 12 episodes. Obviously, that's not the case anymore. It's going to be really interesting, essentially. Because how long can she keep up her act? Obviously, some of her sadness and sorrow over Bam is genuine. She is genuinely somewhat upset, but at the same time, you know, she's essentially trying to, whether or not she's trying to kid herself into thinking, no, I made the right decision, or whether or not she deep down genuinely does, well, she genuinely does think she's made the right decision, but deep down she's obviously regretful to some degree. But even not just that act, obviously she's got to pretend to have disabled legs, for example. How long can she keep that up? Is she going to accidentally let that slip at some point? Loads of little things which I can't wait to see. One of those things I can't wait to see, which I'm extremely hyped for, is Bam. Okay, I know you didn't see this coming. I've not said a lot of bad things about Bam. I've not really said many bad things about Bam. You guys know I wasn't a huge advocate of his right now, but now I'm interested. Now I'm sucked into his character. Now I want to know more. I can't wait to see more. I'm so excited to see what this Bam is going to be. He's been training with that redhead girl, so hopefully now Bam has some genuine combat ability, because up until this point he wasn't the most talented person in battle, let's put it that way. So that's going to be extremely exciting to see. But also, what's he going to do when he sees everyone else with Rachel, knowing what Rachel did? What approach is he going to take to the situation? Many shonen main characters or characters of a similar demographic would sort of try and convince Rachel otherwise and be like, no, I'm going to save Rachel. She didn't want to do this. This is wrong. I'm going to fix her. I'm going to chase her down, and I'm going to fix this, and I'm going to make her right. I'm hoping that's not the case with Bam. I want Bam to become a very morally divided or character who has a cold edge to him, because one, I think that's a must-have to survive the tower, and secondly, it's fresh. It's something that it's not completely original. We've got characters in similar stories where you have that morally torn character and cold, dark character leading the series, but you don't see it often in this genre, in this demographic. So I'm hoping that Bam is going to do a complete switch up and go from someone who was somewhat uninteresting, somewhat boring, to someone who you love it every single time he's on screen. That I know I'm doing a quick massive switch up on Bam, going from he's alright to having these completely out of nowhere, maybe unreally stupidly high expectations for his character, but I don't know, that I suppose that's a nod really to the high expectations the series has given me due to how good this first season was. Like, is he going to immediately expose Rachel when he sees her? How long is it going to take before he does rejoin up with the group? How is the story going to cope by keeping the main character far away from the essential main side characters in his main group for so long? How's that going to work? I have so many questions for what the second season of Tower of God would have in store for us. But luckily, I'm not waiting that long. I'm hopefully get to streaming soon. I'm going to take this week to sort of get to grips with it, because I've streamed briefly in the past, but I need to sort of get up to date with it, get up to speed again with it. Hopefully I can start from next week streaming my Tower of God read through. I think I'm going to start from the beginning, because they're probably going to be the ones which least people are interested in, so it gives me a bit of time to, like I was saying, get up to speed with the whole streaming and see what needs to be fixed and whatnot before everyone else sorts of start to jump along when we get into past where the anime ended. So get in the comment section down below let me know when would be a suitable time for streaming for you guys, when you'd be able to watch. Leave your time zone as well so I can sort of get an idea of when the best time for me to do it will be. I'm going to try and aim for at least a stream a week, at least. Hopefully a bit more. Weekend obviously is where I'm aiming for. I'm so excited. I do apologise somewhat that this review and discussion is so, I suppose, in a way more natural than all my others. I've got a lot less notes for this episode because I finished watching it. I just thought, wow, I'm to some degree blown away and interested, and it's such a weird scenario because part of me is satisfied and I really enjoyed it, but at the same time I've not had enough. I want more. I need to see more, so I can't wait. If you enjoyed this video and the episode, as always, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you're not ready to become a member of the Senpai Squad. And remember, like I said, get in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think about the streams and how we should go about them. I'll be seeing you guys in another video, as always, very, very soon. But until then, Tower of God, you have been great. Peace.